Okay, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. I would like to welcome you all for this session. We are at the end of week one of the reporting week activities. So this is the last session for the day, and then we look forward for you to attend more sessions next week. So as a last session of this week, let me talk about. I'm excited to talk about the new Blackboard Ultra that's going to be available sometime next year. So the topic of today's session, which is basically an awareness session, is a sneak peek of the latest Blackboard Ultra LMS. So I'm sure some of you or most of you have attended a couple of workshops earlier today and a couple of 2 days ago about the basics and the basics and the advanced version, the tools used in Blackboard. So today I'm going to talk. This is a seminar, not a hands-on workshop. So I'm just going to talk in general about the Blackboard system and the new version. What are the changes to be expected? So it's just like an awareness session to give you a sort of a head start of what's going to come up in a couple of months. And as usual, you can raise a hand if you have a question, but preferably we'll keep the voice questions at the end. But if you have any questions, you can type in the chat, and I'll try to answer towards the end of the presentation. So I'll maybe speak for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll try to have a quick demo of just the new system, and we can have a look at the system together. Okay. So I have to talk a little bit about the historical information because we are coming up to the new system. So this is the Blackboard LMS, the company itself, the history of the company itself. So the company started in 1997 as Course Info, and then it had all the different versions like Classic, WebCT. When it acquired WebCT, then it acquired Vista, it acquired Angel Learning Management System, and finally the system that we are currently using was initially made available in 2011, which is Blackboard Learn 9.1. And their latest version, the Blackboard Learn Ultra, which is cloud-based, was released in 2016. So this is the version that they released, but of course, it had, every system, they have improvements, updates, security patches, service releases, and so on. So both the systems right now, the 9.1 and Ultra, both are still active. From a company ownership perspective, again, this is not very relevant, but it's good to know because you will keep hearing the name Anthology. Until 2021, Blackboard was a standalone company, which was Blackboard Incorporation themselves. But at the end of 2021, its Blackboard has merged with another company called Anthology. So that the word you will be seeing, even in the new logo, when you see Blackboard, it's Blackboard Learn by Anthology. So this is like a parent company which has CRM, which is Customer Relationship Management, SIS, Student Information System, as well as LMS, Learning Management System. So it's like a conglomerate of all the systems, like umbrella of systems providing services to the whole institution as a whole. Like instead of having 3 different systems, you can have one Anthology system. And I'm talking about the new universities. If they are looking for 3 different systems, they can just approach Anthology and have all the 3 systems provided by a single provider. So in our case, we are only going to focus on the Blackboard Learn by Anthology part. So this is the brief history about Blackboard company itself. If we look at the history of LMS at KFUPM, at the main campus, we have main campus and DCC. At the main campus, we were having WebCT and Blackboard Classic Edition since 2002, and there were, of course, updates and upgrades. We had WebCT CE4, WebCT Blackboard CE8, which was also WebCT Vista. And in 2013, we have this Blackboard Learn 9.1, which is the current system. And the plan is to have Blackboard Learn Ultra in 2024 next year. So that's the plan. Similarly, DCC had Moodle earlier, but they switched to the main KFUPM Learn 9.1 since 2019. So this is like a brief history about the LMS at the university. So just to define, the according to the definition, Blackboard Learn Ultra is the most modern, intuitive, and personalized Blackboard Learn user experience. From my little experience with the new system, although I do not have access to the system as such, I mean, in a fully administrative perspective, excuse me, what I observed is the system is more, the major change will be the interface design, because you will have essentially the same tools. I mean, you will be able to upload content, you will have assignments, you will have tests, you will have discussions, you will have announcements. So all the typical Blackboard system tools that you have will very much remain the same. I mean, from a tool perspective, of course, there are enhancements on a lot of different places, but the most major change will be essentially the interface design. I'm sure you are, if you are using Blackboard Learn for a long time, you must be comfortable. But again, there is always room for improvement, and in my opinion, they have done, I think, an excellent job in terms of having a sort of intuitive, rich, fully responsive design, because it sort of supports almost any device. I mean, in terms of the mobile app, in terms of tablet, laptop, desktop, and so on. So it's basically simplified the whole workflow, and it's more accessible. Since we talked about AI, which is the theme of our reporting week activities, Blackboard also recently, last month, they announced that they are going to partner with Microsoft Azure OpenAI to develop tools such as course building aid for instructors. So they are incorporating AI tools within Blackboard to do a couple of things that can be done automated. For example, the simplest demo that I saw online was that instead of finding content for your course, you can just type in the topic and it will try to collect all the information in terms of textual content, images, videos, and so on. And then you can sort of fine tune and refine it and select it. So that AI part of similar to different generative tools will be made available soon, but they have recently partnered. So this will be coming in hopefully by the time we have the system sometime next year. To summarize, I would like to sort of give you a high-level changes from our current setup and how the new setup will look like. So a couple of, I will not go into granular details or very detailed explanation of what's going on, but from a higher perspective, if you are looking, our current system within KFUPM is self-hosted. The hosting part is self-hosted, means everything is located in ITC, in ICTC, where they have the database, the application, the integrations, and so on. So everything is physically ownership under the KFUPM, in KFUPM premises. However, the new setup will be, as you understand, this is an ultra setup, so it has to be on the data center. So it is on Blackboard data center, which is cloud-based, also known as SaaS, which is software as a service. This is based in the data center in Riyadh, which is managed by Ministry of Education and Saudi Electronic University. So MOE and SEU is Ministry of Education and Saudi Electronic University. So even the current license that we have, which is the national deal, is managed by them, but the system was, as of now, hosted, self-hosted. But the new system will be hosted in the cloud based in Riyadh. From an interface perspective, this is a major change, as I mentioned. So original course view is the current course view that they call it, and the new course view will be ultra course view. And it will be base versus ultra navigation. So I'll talk about this not in this awareness session, but later on when we go for faculty training, where we have workshops and seminars and training. So I'll talk about these things. So this is something to look for. From a courses perspective, all the courses that we have in current Blackboard system will all be there. However, they will not be migrated in bulk to the new setup, because the new setup, we have some limitations in terms of space size, in terms of, because we have a different set of navigation and so on. So the recommendation is that only the new courses will be available in the new setup. However, faculty members, we will not do a bulk migration from an institution perspective, but individually faculty members, if they would like to migrate their courses, they can move their courses one by one from, just like, if you remember, we have done this course migration from the CE8 system to the new Blackboard 9 back in 2013. So instructors can go to can go to 9.1, download the courses, upload it in the new system. It will do a conversion. Again, it will not be a perfect conversion, but it might miss out a couple of things depending on what tools and features the changes are there. But you will eventually get a new course. Again, these things will come into play later on when the system becomes available. But from an instructor perspective, your whole learning or training that will be done, or that the university or the Deanship of Academic Development and the Learning Technologies Center will take care, will be training on the navigation and the course interface overview. Other than that, you seriously do not have to worry about the hosting, whether it's self-hosted or based in Riyadh. In principle, you will not feel the difference. And once you have new courses set up, and if you copy content from previous courses, you are good to go. Maybe it will take a week to migrate all the courses if you are interested in moving more than one course, and so on. So that will be the sort of main training or interface understanding when it comes to the new system. A couple of more information about Blackboard modules. I'm sure most of you are already using the Blackboard mobile for instructor, and definitely students. All of the students use the student app. Now, what we have in the new system, which is also available in the current system, is that they have a new mobile learning app, which is also available to be accessed our current Blackboard 9.1. And once we switch from 9.1 to Ultra, this same app will be used to access the system. So this is a single app. It's available right now. Also, if you are interested, you can download, or even if you have these previous apps, you can just upload those apps, and you will be able you will be able to update these apps, and it will be similar to it will be exactly the new single app for Blackboard Learn. Depending on your role, whether you are an instructor or a student, you will have access to the course accordingly. One more major upgrade, which is very important to mention, is some of the faculty members are using Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, which is the virtual classroom online meeting system that runs in a browser. This software was purchased or acquired by Class. It's another company which is not part of Blackboard, and they are developing this software, this collaboration tool, and they are calling it Class, and they are using the Zoom as a base end and sort of developing pedagogical features of a classroom that Zoom meeting typically misses. So in the new system that we have, Blackboard Ultra, unfortunately, we will not have Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, although the name is very similar. So you might want to sort of just get cleared that Blackboard Collaborate Ultra is not Blackboard Ultra. So Collaborate is supposed to be only for virtual classroom and online meetings. Blackboard Ultra will be the actual learning management system. So this is one major update. As of now, you can still use it until we have the system available. But in the new one, we are still not very sure. So stay tuned in, and we will update you as soon as we get an update. This is the new Blackboard Mobile Learn, as I just mentioned. If you are interested to download it, you can scan the QR code with your mobile device, or just search for Learn. This is for Android. This is for iOS devices. You can do a quick scan to download it. Otherwise, later on, you can just search for the word Learn, and you will be able to download it for your specific device. Okay. Before I go into a little bit more detail of the timeline or the roadmap, I will try to just play one video just to get you a feel of how the system looks like, a little different. It's a YouTube video. It's a 2-minute video. I'll just play it. Just watch it, and the sound will come. And let's see.
Blackboard Learn provides educators with the autonomy to deliver the inclusive, consistent educational experiences learners desire, all while reliably operating alongside your current tools and integrations. When you log in, the first thing you see is Activity Stream displaying up-to-the-minute action for all your courses. In the list where your name appears, you have access to core features, your profile, courses, organizations, and your global pages for calendar, messages, grades, and tools. Right now, let's focus in on your courses. Depending on the setting chosen by your system administrator, when you access your course, you will either see the familiar original course view with the traditional Blackboard Learn layout and workflows. Or, you will see the new Ultra Course view where everything is organized so that all the course material interactions and tools are right at your fingertips. You can quickly add content to your course. Check the course calendar, drop in on class discussions, access the course gradebook, send a message and take a look at your course analytics. And Blackboard Learn offers a lot more: high-stakes assessments, flexible grading, and a new mobile app.
جايب لكم فيديو عن البلاك بورد.
Blackboard الجديد ده.
So that was a quick introduction about Blackboard Learn from their website. This video is also available. I will also share the link for all the playlist. Because as I mentioned, Blackboard Learn not only is the interface major upgrade on their interface design, they also have added a couple of additional features. So I'm just going to show you one interesting feature that is not available in the current Blackboard Learn 9.1. So bear with me for another 2 minutes. Just watch this video on giving a feedback as a recording instead of just textual feedback. So let me just play this video for another 2 minutes or so and just have a look at this video.
You can include recorded audio and video feedback on graded items. Let's take a look. When adding feedback, select Insert Edit Recording from the Insert Content menu. The first time you access the recording window, you may need to grant the browser permission to use your microphone and camera. If you ever need to adjust your settings, you can do so from the Settings menu. To include video with your feedback recording, select the camera icon. Select the red Record button, and the tool will give you a 5-second countdown. During recording, you can select Pause Recording to stop and resume recording, or select Stop Recording to review the recording and then save or discard it. Select Save and Exit if you're satisfied and want to share it with the student. You may want to rename the recording's display name and add alternative text to make it accessible to all users. The system used the recording time and date for these fields by default. Select the recording in the editor and then select Insert Edit Recording again in the menu. Edit the display name and alternative text. Select Save when you are finished. When you post the grade, students access the recorded feedback along with the grade details and any other feedback you leave. Students can stream the feedback but cannot download or save it.
So that was a video again about one of the features that I found was interesting, that you can give audio and video feedback to the students. So similarly, there are other new features they have included, and we will be able to see those features over the course of time when we have access to the system. So there is online documentation available. The same website, help.blackboard.com. So KFUPM is currently using the Blackboard Learn original experience, the 9.1, and the newer version is called the Ultra Experience. So I'll try to go over that website just to give you an idea that the whole content is available for the Ultra Experience is ready. And of course, there are tutorial videos. It's a playlist of about 50 videos that they have compiled for different activities, how to do, just like you have it for the Blackboard original version, they have for the Blackboard Ultra version. So I encourage, I'll send you this presentation after our session. So you'll be, if you're interested, you can just have a look or just search online and you should be able to find them as well. Okay, now a little bit about the roadmap or the timeline of implementation. This is an approximate timeline from where we stand right now. So by the way, a lot of things, we cannot have an exact timeline because things are being set up in Riyadh and we do not have actual control over how the system will be set up and ready, but we are giving an approximate timeline. And of course, we will make sure that because we already have done a phased migration earlier as well. So we have some experience with this and we'll be able to manage this, inshallah. So the plan is as follows. In September of this year, 2023, the data set is being upgraded. It started last month, but I think the process will complete. It's being upgraded with the new service provider STC. It was earlier Mobile, so that upgrade is in process. So hopefully by September it should be completed, and then we have to contact them, and our setup in the data center should be approximately ready in November. And in January 2024, we expect that the system will be operational, but we need to customize and configure the integrations. A little bit about the integrations over here. As you understand that Blackboard learning management system has integrations with different third-party applications such as Turnitin, you have Gradescope, you have Blackboard Mobile, and so on. So all those integrations will eventually need to be cut off from the current system and connected to the new system. So those configuration testings will be done, and you will be informed about those integrations once it's done. Tentatively, according to the plan provided in March 2024, the system will be available to faculty members in addition to the current system. Of course, the courses might not be there, the integrations might not be fully available, but at least the system will be available. And from March, April until June, we are planning to conduct a training so that faculty members get used with the interface, have some dummy courses, try uploading content, try some activities just to get familiar. And I'm sure all of you who are already using Blackboard, the system is very much the same. It's only the interface design that you have to get familiar with. And finally, the plan is to go live in July 2024. And then from there, we will have Blackboard Learn Ultra available. For Blackboard Learn 9.1, the plan is as follows. Once we go online, once we go live for Blackboard Learn Ultra, Blackboard 9.1 will be still operational, but in an archive mode, which means faculty members can access the data, download their course contents and so on, but cannot use it for teaching. Which means the new courses will not appear there. New courses will appear only in one system. We cannot have two systems running in parallel for obvious reasons. One is support will be ending for the previous system. The integrations cannot work in multiple places at the same time and so on. So we'll try to have the Blackboard 9.1 in an archive mode for almost 1 year, and then from there on it will be discontinued. Maybe we'll not be able to renew it, in terms of the archive license and so on, but this is sort of the tentative plan, just to give you a heads up of what is expected and what is our initial plan. Of course, as I mentioned, these are tentative dates. We might, if things get ready early, we might start early. If things get delayed, we have to wait until the things are ready. So be prepared for a little bit of fluctuations, because a lot of things are out of the university. They are not under our control directly to plan as we want to have it. So we have to be a little flexible, but we understand the university operations in terms of the semester beginning and ending, enough time for faculty members to get trained on the system, access and course migration, how much time it takes depending on specific scenarios and so on. So again, this is very much an approximate timeline. For exact timeline, we'll communicate as soon as things get confirmed. We will keep you informed through announcements, through website and so on, once we start the proper migration plan. So thank you all for listening. I will move to a quick demo now. I'll take maybe another 10 minutes or so just to demo, because there's not much to demo. And of course, if you have any questions, you may type in the chat, and then once I finish the demo, I can take voice questions. So let me just stop this share, and I will share my other window. Okay. Now I'm sharing this. This is a pilot version. It's available. It was made available by Saudi Electronic University. It's a pilot version. So once I sign in, again, it's so once I sign in, I can see something a little familiar but a little different. You will have the Blackboard word here, but again, this is basically not a customized version. Plus, we do not have full control. This is only available as a pilot for us to try out a couple of things. But again, due to a lot of limitations, we might not be able to try. And unfortunately, we cannot give access to faculty members to this system because we cannot create users. We cannot create courses. They create it for us and try to give us some sort of access and availability so that we can look and feel the system beforehand. So this is the institution page provided by Ministry of Education. You have a couple of links that you can customize. So again, just like the main page, you can customize. You have the user information. You upload an image, some basic information, whatever information is made available. Again, this is relatively straightforward. You have activity stream. In our case, we don't have, because I don't have a lot of activity or I don't have any courses as such. I mean, 2 courses for trial. And then this is the place where we have courses. The interesting part about the courses is our default setting was something like this: courses arranged one by one without any photo or clear-cut identifier. So when you have this option to put as a tiled image rather than I'm not exactly sure what technical term for it is. Instead of listing one by one, you have a box view where you can customize and put different images to the course image, so that becomes a little bit more familiar for you as well as students. So the interface design, as I mentioned, is a major upgrade that you can change images and add different images and so on. That becomes a little identifier for your course. Before I go into the course, let me just finish this other links. We don't have organizations as such, but if there are organizations, it will appear over here. Calendar is, again, very much what the normal calendar is, but the interface design, you can see that it is a little bit smooth. It's organized much better, and messages are here. Grades. This is for courses, and I'm seeing one comment. I'll just comment. I'll reply to the comment in a minute. You have tools available for content collection, goal performance. I have admin interface. So it's very much similar to what we have currently, just a little bit interface design changes. And if I come back to courses, I will see something like this. So let me just enter one course. When I enter the course, everything sort of opens up from the right side to the left. So, and this is the close button at the upper left side in purple with an X. So whenever I click this, it appears from the left, and this is the name of the course. If I want to just change it, I can just change it over here. If you remember, in the regular Blackboard course, if you want to change the name of the course, you have to go to Control Panel, Customization, Properties, change the name, Submit, and then come back. Here it's like Sandbox Course 2-1. I can just change it over here right away. So things have sort of, as an instructor, you can make changes. And then most of the items that you have are organized from in a website style manner, where you have menus. So you have content here, you have calendar here for the course, you have announcements in the course, you have discussions, you have gradebook. Dr. Basfi, you mentioned about the Grade Center. According to what they claim, they say they have done major upgrades to the Grade Center. They are calling it, first of all, Gradebook, and the way they have customized it, according to them, the claim is that, but unfortunately, I am not able to verify it for obvious reasons that I do not have access to the system to try out things in a full-fledged manner. This system is available, but as I mentioned, there are limitations to the system. So you add item attendance, it gives you the message, and maybe in the website where they have the help website, maybe they mention about this. And for each student, you can sort of have accommodations like exceptions, give them exceptions, and so on. You have a wheel-like icon, which is settings. So these are gradebook options, settings that you can change. You can download the gradebook, upload the grades. You can search for something in the or a search by submission receipts, or things of that sort. It's again, you have a student preview at the top right, you have message, you have analytics, you have groups. So again, very much similar set of tools, but the organization it's very much different, and in my opinion looks very neat, very clean, very responsive. But we yet have to test it and get comfortable with it. So in order to start the student preview, it's again very similar. You get a student preview mode, so you see exactly how the course looks like to the student. So you have something similar, but again, you cannot make changes to the course name, for example, as a student, but as an instructor you can. So that pencil icon appears. So things have got that sort. So the whole training will be essentially on the interface design, starting when we have the system available for faculty members. So I'm just going to discard this student preview. And within the content, I think this content was just a second. This content was taken from Dr. Waji's course. He was teaching a course, I think EE418 in 212. So we exported the course from there and imported it over here. So this is the syllabus, how the syllabus looks like. It's a doc file. And if I expand it, instead of downloading, even the doc files open within the same system. And then you have there is something called Blackboard Ally, which basically allows you to download in alternate formats, especially available for students who have accessibility issues. Like it allows you to give intact PDF, assistive technology, HTML, EPUB, Braille system, audio, and so on. Again, there are certain conditions that you have to upload the file, like it should not be images, so that it sort of generates an audio, and so on. You can edit, download original file, delete, download alternative formats. So this is the syllabus file that is used, and I can just make sure that this is added to the course. If you want to make this available, you just click on visible to students or hidden from students or release condition, which is basically adaptive release or advanced adaptive release. So you apply the release conditions if it's available to a specific user, date, time, performance. If you remember, similar things, almost similar things are available, but again, more reorganized in a way that all the options eventually come on the right side and with close button over here on the top left in purple color. So it sort of tries to get things unified. Of course, if you want to add more content, you just add a file or add HTML or upload from computer or browse content collection or upload from a cloud. So if I upload from computer, I can upload another file. Let me see if I can just go to my desktop and upload a presentation file, this current presentation file that we have, sneak peek. So this is the display name, says view options, view only, download only. If you remember, a couple of faculty members did ask me, if we upload a file, it should not be downloadable by students. So I think they have taken care of this issue. And if I say view only, they should not be able to download, but I can always come back and change it. Let me try for view and download first. Okay. And then I want to view it. So this is the PDF, the presentation file that I have. And if I don't want the students to download, I can just edit the file, I think, and say view only, for example. And then if I go to the student preview and start preview, I have course syllabus. And I have this file. If you see, I can download this original file, but here I cannot download the original file. I can maybe take screen capture or web shots, but not as the whole file. Of course, it did try to limit the download part, not as compared to this download original file. So things of that sort have been improved, enhanced, and embedded within the system. But again, we'll have to try out all these things once the system becomes available. Similarly, we have other files here. Let me just exit from the student preview and discard. And if I want to expand this, the visibility is available here. If you want to hide the whole content from the student, this will be hidden from the students and they will not be able to see it. And you can control it from here. This was the project submission file. I think this was the report submission. Again, these are files that have been uploaded. And I mean, this is an assessment. So you create an assessment, you add due date, grade category, assignments, enable safe assign, how many submissions do you have? So all you can see the student activity, the submissions all in one place. Again, this course does not have any students. So, I mean, Dr. Vaji added himself as a student just for the sake of demonstration, but we don't have actual student data to show you some of more detailed information. And then you have item analysis like questions. So it says not enough data. So you have to have some sort of activity going on in the class and so on. You can also look at, you can just a second. You can also add additional content by creating a new file. So it can be a learning module folder, SCORM package, and so on. One thing, if you have noticed, which was also my observation, was that if you look at all the icons, they're all in black and white. There are no colors to it. I mean, if you remember, our folder color was yellow, document was white, items was a little bit different, link was different, and so on. So I requested them, at least if we can customize the institutional scheme or something. They said no, for compatibility and portability requirements, like if you open this on this machine or a tablet or a mobile, it should all look the same. So they have sort of removed all the colors and they have unified these icons for different items in the course throughout. So you might notice that these things are, looking like plain black and white, as simple as possible, except the purple color icon for closing this specific inside window. So again, this is there are some limitations or there are some restrictions on how the system works. So we have to sort of adapt to it because some things are not customizable. Plus, as I mentioned, this is in the cloud. This is not self-hosted. So we have all the more, even from the admin side, we do have certain limitations, certain restrictions. But this is the way to go. Finally, I can just, can you create a test and look at the type of questions? Okay, yes, let me just do that. So if I go to, let me see. So you have manage question bank. I think this is the question bank. So what I can do is I can create a test over here. Create a test. And in the test, I have to give a name. Let's say quiz 1, for example, quiz 1 August just to 2023. This is the due date, category is test. Okay, and then I can add multiple choice question, for example. Something very simple. What is the new version of Blackboard called? Enter options, ultra, for example. Okay, this is simple. Let me just do one. Okay, so if I add one more question, do we have a calculated? You have a calculated formula question and a calculated numeric question. Again, I think it will be very similar to how we have in our current Blackboard 9.1. So type the question is, let's say x plus y. Here I will add x plus y and display formula to students. Next. Okay, let x plus 1, for example. Or I have to put formula in brackets, I think. I'll have to spend some time on it. But bottom line is, it will be very similar to. I have to answer not any questions. Okay, let me just. decimal places. Again, the options are very much the same as we have in the calculated formula. Bracket in the text of the problem. Okay, sorry about that. I'm just getting comfortable with the interface, but I'm missing out certain things, it seems. Is this okay? You can use only upper and lower case. Okay, let's try this one. Invalid variable. Okay, X only in the test. Okay. I might not be able to do a couple of things, but again, what I'm trying to say is the options that we get over there in Blackboard Learn 9.1 is also very much similar to what we have. Allow full credit, maximum value, decimal places is 0. Decimal places 1, number of answers, let's say 10. So it generates these answer sets. Have an automated feedback if you want to give, and still calculating. I think that's taking some time. Maybe my question formula was not correct in the step 1, so that's why it might not be finishing. So I am not able brackets in text of the problem. Okay, use letters in brackets to define variables. Okay. Let's say normal. Next. Save. Okay, now it's okay. Okay, so I was able to create it using the multiple choice question, but again, as I mentioned, it's essentially the type of question that can be created. It's exactly the same. I mean, I don't see any question pool. Add question pool. It's fine, because if we have a pool of questions, we can add. You know, just like in Learn 9.1, it's the same. I can add a calculated formula, numeric essay, fill in the blanks, hotspot, match the following, reuse the questions, upload questions from file. I think we have all almost similar, maybe with some fine tune and adjustments and improvements. So I can upload a file over here. Test settings are a little bit, yeah, I think they're all the same. Prohibit backtracking, category, anonymous grading, delegated grading. Okay, this is new. This is add access code. You can provide a student with 6-digit access code. Okay. Add time limit. Okay. I think we have essentially the same. I have a question. Can you please check if they have the factorial function in the calculator here? Can you please just guide me where to check, because I'm not very sure where it was in Blackboard 9.1.
السلام عليكم.
Example,
Dr. Sanallah, how are you?
Yes, Doctor.
Look, when you want to have auto grade, my question is simple. I have 5 factorial. What's the output of 5 factorial? The student's supposed to say 125.
Okay.
And to grade it, auto grade, the system should generate those answers, right? I can use the square root functions there, but I didn't see the factorial function. I have searching this for a while now. I couldn't see it in the old Blackboard. What about this one? Can you go to where you put the questions, the auto-graded question by formula?
Calculated formula. Let me go to calculated formula.
Yes. See, can you zoom and let me see what kind of functions you have. What kind of functions you have? Do you have plus, add, subtraction? Where is the square root? Can you extend to other function?
Okay. If I want to add a math function.
Yeah, can you add a math function? Exactly. Can you add a math function? Okay. There's no factorial.
Can I see factorial? No, this is.
Why it is hard to have the factorials? All basic calculator, they have factorial.
I understand, Dr. But
did you try the exclamation mark, or maybe
Where is
backslash
the exclamation
fact?
mark? Where is it?
Exclamation mark is like one shift one. Yes.
And then put X like an M.
So like X and then exclamation mark.
It wouldn't work. It wouldn't
First
see it.
X and then the exclamation. Yes.
let's see if I insert this.
No, I want it to be calculated as value. Like if X is 5, then what is the X factorial? Put X is 5. Let's see. Let's try it.
In the formula, X is equal to 5.
No, I say like a 5 factorial, for example. X equal 5 factorial. Say X equal 5, then exclamation mark. So what
Okay.
is the value of X now?
Actually, this is the formula that you don't enter the value. It's more like a variable X.
Okay, then make it X factorial, like X.
Yeah, X factorial should be.
Yeah. So what about this one? It doesn't recognize. It should be like one of those functions up there. You have to choose it from there. But I don't see it. Yeah.
Maybe it has to be like fact something factorial 5.
Is it defined fact? Can you talk to those people at
Should be backslash fact.
Okay, backslash.
Backslash.
Then put X instead of 5. Put X instead of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, try now.
No, your answer formula so does not have F.
See it
No,
as FACT. It sees as 4 letters. FACT.
So it's not recognizing the word fact. It has to be something else.
Can you communicate this to Blackboard, because they're supposed to know that we need.
Sure. Let me check with them, because even I have not used it and I'm not aware of it, and you have also tried it. So let me check with them, open a support case and ask them. I think I'll be able to get more information on that.
Sure, yeah.
And then I'll be able to share whatever I get, inshallah.
Sure, yeah. If you got it, let me know as soon as possible. I always need all my tests. Otherwise, I do them manually.
I'll take a note of this and I'll try to work on it, inshallah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for bringing this up. Of course, it's always good to get your personal experience, how you are using the course, and of course, there might most likely, in my opinion, there is a high chance that it's available, but we just have to figure out how it is used. So I know
it's supposed to be available, but I don't know where is it. Right?
Exactly. Let me just contact them to find out and see how it works.
Sure. Okay,
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one more question here. Can the system randomly select questions different for each student from the question pool? Yes, of course. You can. The system can select it. This was there even in the previous version and even the version before that. So to do that, you essentially need to have a pool of like 20 questions or 30 questions, and then you select 5 random questions for each student. So this is very much possible. But right now, since we do not have questions, we have to first create questions and then get it. So the answer is yes. Even in the current system, we have that. So that's basically, trying to give you a quick overlook and a view. And again, okay, there's one more question. What about noise reduction in online classroom on Blackboard like Zoom? Noise reduction, you're talking about, I think, Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. As I mentioned, Collaborate Ultra currently is available over here, but it might not be available later on because the system has been purchased by Class. If you can see now, it's Class Collaborate. So I don't have an answer for that right now. So if there is an answer and if there is an update on that, I'll be able to sort of share it with you. So this is Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, and it's joining the course room. And this is what you have already seen it. This is similar to Zoom, but of course, Zoom has better sort of noise cancellation features. And this is like a regular session in Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. This is available until further notice, sometime next year. So essentially, I hope you are able to get the look and feel, from a tool and a functional perspective, it's very much similar. We just have to figure out the interface, and definitely there are some enhancements and upgrades to the system. You see some of additional features, but from my experience, if you exclude the interface, it's more or less like 90% similar. Just like if you upgrade Windows 7 to Windows 11, you will see some things placed differently. The interface design will be different, but again, it's an operating system. It functions very similar how it was functioning before. So this is a learning management system. You'll have courses, you'll have activities, you'll have students, you'll have interactions. So it will be very much similar, but again, the interface design is a little bit different. You'll have to just get used to it, and according to their claim, it's much fluid design. So you might get comfortable sooner than later. So that's all I have for today, and I appreciate your time attending this, and we'll keep you posted on the updates when the system becomes available, and if you have more detailed information on the system. So thank you all for attending. If there are any questions, I'll be here for another couple of minutes, and then we can sort of close the session. So I have one question. Let me just read that out. Can I define a process for the submission? If the student submits is given to another student for review, and once the student finishes, I get the there is something called, even in the previous Blackboard, there is something called self and peer assessment. So if I open the previous session, I don't know how it's there in the new one or where is it, but if you look into the current Blackboard system, there is something called self and peer assessment. So if you look at this assessment and click on self and peer assessment, you will be able to do something what you just exactly said. You will form anonymous evaluations, self-evaluations, show evaluations to submitter. Just explore this option, you will get exactly what you're looking for. So the student submits, other students review it, and then you sort of get a chance to grade both their submissions and so on. So I hope that helps. Any more questions? I can just try to at least address them or inform if it's available or not, or based on my information.
By the way, Dr. Sanallah,
yes, sure.
Do you still remember the Web City? We used to have it 10 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, they have lots of functions. I don't know why Blackboard doesn't have as much functions.
Well, the simple reason, in my opinion, is as follows. Web City was initially developed at a university, and it was essentially used by university faculty members, developed by university faculty members, and there were a lot of good functions in their gradebook in Web City and the Blackboard CE8, the previous one. The Blackboard company itself was more a little bit on the corporate side in terms of, it was used essentially for business school, in my opinion and experience. So that's why when the Blackboard company bought Web Cities, they sort of eliminated, they had to combine the system. So those pedagogical academic features was somehow disabled for, functional reasons, or whatever, I don't know. So yes, I agree, and I understand that some of the systems,
can tell them when you communicate with them, just tell them it is available everywhere. Why not in Blackboard?
I told them so many times, and I had a chance to meet most of them in person, in attending these different events, and they don't have a very clear answer to that. They say put it in the timeline, the development. I mean, give us a suggestion, we'll try to incorporate. And because they have also so many factors, like when they develop a new tool or a new feature, they have to make sure that it works coherently with all the other connected tools and so on. It's a challenge. I mean, it's a challenge, but again, it's doable, I think. And
yeah, just let me know if you have any update. Let me know, okay?
I will definitely.
Thank you, Dr.
Okay, thank you. I have one more question over here. Will old courses created by faculty be moved to the new system? No, the plan is not to move the bulk, because we have more than like 25,000 old courses. We don't want to move all of them. And again, as I mentioned, if you have a new system, it's recommended to have courses developed fresh on the new system than copying from the old system, because there will always be some sort of elements lost in conversion. So that's why we are not planning to do it as per their recommendation. But if faculty members are interested, they can, or I can assist faculty members if they are having some issues with migration. So I'll be able to at least assist at some point and move a couple of courses that are well developed and you are able to use it directly. So the short answer is no, but the imperative answer is faculty members themselves will be able to do migrate most of their content if they want to. So that's about it. Any more questions? Let me just see. I think we are all done. So thank you again for attending this session. I hope you got some sort of insight of what's coming in, and we'll look forward to see you in more of our reporting week activities sessions next week. And have a nice day, have a nice weekend, and see you later. Thank you very much.